First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
With the light showers expected this evening, stay ready with your umbrellas. This is WUFT's First at 5. I'm Carlos Corzo.
And I'm Sierra Pulver. The UF weather team says although the rain may seem endless, we can get excited for the sun to come out this weekend. UF meteorologist Maxham is live in the weather studio to tell us if we are going to be basking in the sun or hiding under our umbrellas.
Well, you will be basking in the sun this weekend, but you're going to need the umbrella next few hours. We have deep tropical moisture in place and low pressures moving over the state, and that's allowing these showers and thunderstorms to develop. We're seeing the rain really picking up across Alachua County into Micanopy. We have these dark reds here indicating very heavy rainfall, and further southward into Marion County, we also have some areas of heavy rain, but zooming in, Paynes Prairie about to pick up on the heaviest stuff right now. We've got some areas where there is some purple indicating there could be some maybe pea-sized hail and some of those heavier showers, but rain is going to continue for the next couple of hours, but get less and less likely as we approach the midnight hour. Clouds linger, but more rain is coming our way tomorrow. Fortunately, the flash flooding risk is going to be smaller for tomorrow. I'll tell you about what changes to bring back heat and more sunshine into the weekend coming up in a few minutes.
Florida Highway Patrol is investigating an incident, a crash that killed a motorcyclist this morning. Said crash happened just before 11:30 on State Road 24 in High Springs. The FHP report says that the black car was driving east, preparing to make a left turn, when the motorcycle traveling west struck the side of the car. The motorcyclist was pronounced dead at the scene. The car's driver suffered minor injuries.
Shots were fired late Tuesday night as deputies attempted to locate a suspect involved with threatening Florida Credit Union employees. Deputies found the suspect at his father's home in Broward County. As they tried to call him out of the residence, Crawford stepped outside with a shotgun and a second long gun, using the weapons as a threat. Multiple deputies were forced to shoot their weapons, hitting the suspect, who was pronounced dead on the scene. No deputies were injured. The suspect has been identified as Michael Lamar Crawford. Governor Ron DeSantis says the city of Gainesville is wasting money, and he plans to get to the bottom of where the funding is going. He announced Gainesville is one of 2 areas of focus after the launch of a state-level government efficiency department. WUFT's Jessica Wilkinson is live in the studio detailing how city leaders are pushing back against the state's claims.
We're hearing from local leaders after Governor Ron DeSantis' Gainesville visit earlier this week. The governor held a press conference to announce his plan to take a closer look into the city's finances through state-level DOJ audits. The department aims to eliminate anything they deem to be waste. The state's newly appointed chief financial officer says governments are taking in extra revenue and spending it recklessly.
Part of the reason we're here today, we were in Broward this morning to announce we are going to include in the first round of DOJ audits a thorough review of the practices of the city of Gainesville here in Alachua County.
Governor DeSantis claims Gainesville's operating budget has expanded by over $90 million a year, divided to about a $600 increase in taxes per resident. He says increased government spending has burdened Gainesville property owners, with money going towards unbeneficial programs.
And of course, what has the city done with the money? They have DEI, they have Green New Deal, they have things that, quite frankly, a lot of taxpayers don't want to pay more property taxes to be able to fund.
CFO Blaise Ngolia sent Gainesville City Mayor Harvey Ward a 7-page letter with detailed criticisms of the city's spending habits. Ward disagrees with the claims.
We are not spending irresponsibly. Our books are wide open to everyone. The bulk of our spending is on public safety and public works, which is exactly, I think, where the people of Gainesville want it to be.
This will be the second state audit Gainesville has faced in the past 5 years. CFO Ngolia plans to begin audits in Gainesville next week. Gainesville, in addition to any other Florida city, could face fines of up to $1,000 a day for compelling to state requests. Live in the studio, Jessica Wilkinson, WUFT News.
The man shown on viral video being punched by a Jacksonville Sheriff's Office officer is speaking out about the ordeal. William McNeil Jr. was pulled over earlier this year, but the body cam of the arrest was just released and has gained national attention and reignited the debate about the use of force. As Laura Aguirre reports, McNeil is calling for the officer to be fired.
I was really just scared. And that's it.
Speaking softly and briefly, William McNeil Jr. spoke Wednesday about his now viral encounter with Jacksonville police in February.
That day, I just really wanted to know, why I was getting pulled over.
Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on.
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor.
Step out of here.
McNeil again asked for a police supervisor.
Why I needed to step out the car when I knew I didn't do nothing wrong.
Within moments, the traffic stop turned violent.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
This was a classic case of driving while black.
Jacksonville's sheriff defended the officer's actions Tuesday.
And just because force is ugly does not mean it's unlawful or contrary to policy.
The sheriff says the cell phone video doesn't tell the whole story.
The cell phone camera footage that began viral circulation over the weekend does not comprehensively capture the circumstances surrounding this incident.
To the sheriff, respectfully, you can't justify this. You need to terminate that officer immediately.
The arresting officer has been stripped of his law enforcement authority pending the outcome of an administrative review that is still ongoing. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Marion County Sheriff's Office arrested a woman after they say she dumped more than 14,000 pounds of trash and debris at a homeless camp in the Silver Spring Shores area. We're working to learn the woman's identity, but a report says deputies issued warning before the arrest, urging her to vacate and clean the property, but she made no effort. They say the sight of the litter emitted a strong smell and posed a significant environmental and public health risk. Following the discovery of the trash, a two-day cleanup effort was launched with more than 40 workers. The suspect was arrested for trespassing and subsequently charged with felony littering.
Firefighters in High Springs were called to a reported building fire and a four-legged friend who needed saving. They responded to a mobile home surrounded by heavy smoke and flames. Upon arrival, they began to extinguish the fire and search for a missing cat. Firefighters soon found a scared, unharmed cat in a pile of boxes. The cat was removed, treated for smoke inhalation, and reunited with her owner. No other injuries were reported, and the fire is believed to have been caused by an electrical issue.
A University of Florida research team has developed a more accurate technique to count animals using drones. The team helped confirm the world's largest known nesting site for a threatened turtle species in the Amazon. Ismael Block is a postdoctoral ecology researcher and lead author of the study. He says typical drone counting involves taking hundreds of pictures and stitching them together into a large mosaic. But this method can have many errors. But Brack's team came up with a new solution. By marking some of the turtles with a safe white paint, they were able to use statistical models to determine how many times these errors occurred, leading to a more accurate count. He says this statistical model can be used with other species around the world.
After the murders of 4 university students, the killer has received his sentencing.
More than 2.5 years later, confessed killer was addressed by his victims' family members. We'll be back after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Nearly 3 years after the murders of 4 University of Idaho students, the victims' families received closure as the confessed killer received 4 life sentences today. And as Jay Gray reports in court, the families addressed the man who declined to speak on his behalf.
Because of him, 4 beautiful, genuine, compassionate people were taken from this world for no reason.
Raw emotion spilling out in a Boise courtroom. The roommates, friends, and family of Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Zaina Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin sharing the pain of overwhelming loss.
She was that fun, loving, high-spirited, beautiful person. and I no longer get to get my nails done with her, have lunch with her.
For others, the message is more direct.
You're not worth the time, the effort to be remembered.
Their loss fuels a seething anger.
I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. Instead, I will call you what you are. Sociopath, psychopath, murderer.
A hatred at times bordering on rage.
I want to just be out in the woods with you just so I can teach you about loss and pain. I'm shaking because I want to reach out to you, but I hope you feel my energy, okay? Go to hell.
The confessed killer staring straight ahead, seemingly no emotion, no sign of remorse, only responding when offered the chance to speak.
I respectfully decline.
Go. Judge Steve Hippler calling the convicted murderer a faceless coward and evil.
In my view, the time has now come to end Mr. Kohlberger's 15 minutes of fame.
Formally sentencing the now 30-year-old killer to spend the rest of his life in prison. Jay Gray, NBC News.
Today, Texas officials began a formal investigation into the deadly July 4th flooding disaster. At least 136 people were killed. That includes more than 100 people who died in Kerr County, where children's camps and RV parks were situated along the Guadalupe River. In Wednesday's special hearing, officials will look into how response teams handled the emergency. Investigators will also focus on whether the flooding disaster could have been prevented. The hearing will include testimony from officials in charge of managing regional rivers, as well as from the head of the state's Division of Emergency Management.
Heavy rain is moving through north central Florida. We've got risks of flooding coming up in the next few hours. I'll have your forecast for the weekend next.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
As I'm sure you're all aware, the rain just simply won't go away.
Oh, it just won't, and we can even hear it from inside of the studio today.
Yeah, it's very loud. We're hearing some thunder too. Maybe you can hear that now. We certainly can. And radar is very active. We've got a lot of dark red and even some purples here as these heavy rain showers roll on through. Lots of lightning too. Lightning strikes have been picking up over 100 in the last couple of minutes, and we're looking at Alachua County. Rain really covering most of downtown Greenville and Gainesville, and we've got I-75 looking at heavy rainfall basically from Gainesville southward through Micanopy all the way down to Ocala. Rain's lightening up a little bit across Marion County, but more rain is coming. I think we'll see another wave later this evening before things finally do settle down. Flash flood risk today in the lowest category, marginal, but yesterday here in Alachua County we had about 2.75 inches at the airport. Very heavy rains. Fortunately, the risk of extremely heavy rain goes down tomorrow. Low pressure currently right over us, over the Florida Peninsula, is going to be moving away to the west. As it gets further away, we'll see the potential for that extremely heavy rain going down, but tomorrow we'll still likely see a few showers and thunderstorms, just not quite as much, and less extremely heavy rain. But tonight, heavy rain will continue for the next couple of hours, still likely seeing some pretty heavy stuff around the 9 o'clock hour. By about 10 or 11, I think most of that going to be settling down, but again, rain possible tomorrow, and that heaviest stuff moving through the UF campus right now. We've got heavy rain kind of blocking out the entire view to the east, and similar looking picture to the west as well. Heavy rain moving through. Probably going to look like this for the next 20 to 30 minutes before things slow down a little bit. Temperatures, of course, a little cooler because the rain has moved into the 70s. Ocala still upper 80s. Generally elsewhere, low pressure going to be moving away, but you can see it's still nearby. We have this large swath of heavy rain continuing to move in from the south. And as we look ahead in time, Futurecast shows, well, the potential for heavy rain continuing for the next half hour to an hour, slowing down in the later part of the evening. Then tomorrow actually starts out pretty quiet before we get into the late afternoon. Here we are, 9 a.m., nothing going on, even some sunshine. Then a few spotty showers into the early afternoon, and then another wave of precipitation. Not as much as today and not as heavy, certainly looking fairly stormy. We're looking, though, a lot sunnier as we approach the weekend. Temperatures are going to be moving up as drier conditions return. We're back up into the mid-90s, about 96, 97, with only a 20% chance of rain on Sunday.
Coming up in sports, several key injuries may impact the start of the season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. we'll tell you who's missing. And over on the diamond, some Gator baseball players are leaving the swamp and signing with their MLB ball clubs. More on this after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm Josh Stevens. Just 10 days after the MLB draft, pitcher Jay Clemente and catcher Luke Heyman have already put pen to paper with their ball clubs. Clemente, a South Florida native, will stay local after the Marlins made him the 198th selection. He posted a .346 ERA with 77 strikeouts in 54 2/3 innings last year as a redshirt sophomore. Heyman won't have the same local luxuries as he'll be traveling to Seattle. Heyman posted an average north of 300 with 13 homers a year ago before going down with an injury. Gators signee Jordan Yost, who is the brother of current Gator outfielder Hayden Yost, will forego his time with the Orange and Blue after being drafted in the first round and signed by the Detroit Tigers. Sticking to the diamond, or just above it, the Tampa Bay Rays have ramped up their roof reconstruction on Tropicana Field in hopes of returning to their home ballpark in 2026. The reconstruction comes after Tampa Bay was ravaged by Hurricane Milton in October, leaving structural damage to the Trop. The Rays currently play their home games at Steinbrenner Field, which is the Yankees' spring training facility. The season away from home has been a roller coaster, as the Rays sat just one game back of first at the end of June before 6-11 July put them in fourth place and 6.5 back in the American League East. For the second year in a row, Florida's men's golf has a preseason top 25 golfer, with the PGA Tour ranking senior Matthew Crest 23rd in the country in the University Class of 2026 rankings. Crest is coming off of his best semester as a Gator, offsetting a challenging fall with 3 consecutive top 10 finishes in the spring, including a runner-up finish at the NCAA Regionals. Crest also won his matchup in the SEC Championship and National Quarterfinals, leading the Gators deep into the postseason. He'll have a bigger role this season following the departure of Ian Gilligan, who finished 4th in the country a year ago. NFL training camps opened yesterday. While Travis Hunter stole the show in Jacksonville, some notable names were missing from the Bucs practice field. One of these notable names is former Gator defensive tackle Desmond Watson, who turned heads at rookie minicamp but wasn't on the field when training camp started yesterday. Head coach Todd Bowles attributed Watson's absence to his weight, saying that his absence was about, quote, Watson needing to be a healthier player on the field, end quote. Watson was listed at 464 pounds at Florida and a slightly slimmer 449 with Tampa. Watson wasn't the only one to miss time, as star tackle Tristan Wirfs and wide receiver Chris Godwin are in the physical unable to perform list with key injuries. Wirfs is still recovering from knee surgery at the end of June, while Godwin is rehabbing a dislocated left ankle that he suffered early on last year. Both will be required to miss the first 4 weeks of the season if they are still on the physically unable to perform list at the end of training camp. Before we go, Gator fans will no longer have to endure opposing teams chomping at the swamp, at least on College Football 26. William will have one final weather update after the break.
Heavy rain continues moving through Alachua County. Areas of the county have already picked up over an inch, almost 2 inches in a couple of spots through the day today, and more rain expected through the next several hours. Rainfall chances go down a little bit tomorrow, but we're much drier and hotter over the weekend.
Thank you, William, and thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow we'll be here again for another edition of First at 5.
Be sure to check out more local news on WUFT.org. Have a fantastic rest of your night.